What's up, guys? You're listening to the Lost My Notes podcast from Ybot. This is Butcher McBain here. I'm with the immensely talented and very active rapper Consensus.
Yes.
He's right in the middle of doing all kinds of things going on right now. So we're lucky to catch a break with him right now, and we're just gonna go discover what is all about the world of Consensus. Yeah. So you've been rhyming and rapping for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Like over 10 years. Like.
Well, yeah. So under the name Consensus, I guess I started putting out music 2011.
Yeah.
So that brings me kind of up to 8 under this brand. But when I was like 15, I was rapping. I was doing grime really.
Yeah.
Up until about age 18, just before I went to uni. And then I was 18, 19, and then I kind of basically stopped and started doing poetry and stuff, and just fell out of the grime scene basically.
Right.
Went to uni, was studying, and then in my final year of uni, I was like, actually, I really love music. Too much.
Yeah.
So started producing again. Found myself. I'd say that's when I found myself as an artist and developed the brand Consensus. So on and off a long time, but really under this brand kind of like 8 years now, which is still a long time. But yeah,
definitely. And so, because I think when I first met you was a long time, maybe 7 years ago or something, 6-7 years ago. It used to be at like the Lyricist Lounge.
Lyricist Lounge, man. So big up Lean and stuff.
Yeah, exactly, Lean. So it was like up in around Shoreditch.
Yeah. And then Macbeth.
Yeah, the Macbeth. That was it. And also he was doing it down in Croydon as well.
That was kind of, what was that, Showtime with Catherine North and stuff as well.
Yeah, there was a girl who was involved as well. Yeah.
So that was like I think that's a kind of different brand. That's now changed into, what have they changed? Cypher Lounge. That's actually now Cypher Lounge. So Catherine North is like the one who runs that in the Croydon lot.
Yeah.
But Lean was based in Croydon, so he used to be at both, and they used to cross promote and stuff like that. But yeah, man. I mean, back in the day, man, it's been a while since I've hit up any of those things. Actually, I know Cypher Lounge does like every 3 months or something. It does something. Lyricist Lounge just kind of stopped. It stopped like about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, it's hard to keep those things going, but I remember there was some crazy stuff going on. Like they used to have battles that would go on. And I remember I came in there one time and I was like, I'll sign up for it. I thought it was just going to be some standard, your mum this, your mum that.
Yeah.
And then, but no, it was like all these really
lyrical games and stuff.
Yeah, all these, and I was like, oh shit. And the guy I'm going against, MIDI Intellect was. Yeah.
MIDI. Yeah.
He was an absolute beast, and I was like, right, okay. Well, that was a good learning process for me there. Yeah. But it's still, regardless of that, like every time I went down to those events, I always saw you were popping off with your skills. Each time you were coming at me and you were always getting it. Yeah,
man. Actually, I feel like recently my freestyles been very slack. Like I was doing some stuff abroad, like about 2-3 days ago. Well, last weekend. What day are we now? But last weekend. And I was just like, blah, blah, blah. I always remember my set, but I sometimes forget my not forget, but my level of freestyle was gone down now. Yeah. So I was like, my freestyle is actually quite slack compared to what it used to be, because you used to have to they used to have these games of you got to freestyle everything to do with this. You got to do role play stuff, all sorts of. So I used to be really on it back in the day, freestyle wise. But my focus has just gone more into the emotional side of writing and putting songs together and conceptualizing things. So the freestyle aspect I just don't work on so much, really.
Yeah. I used to be a better freestyler when I was a lot younger, because it was just it's like practice, like anything. If you're doing it all the time, it just becomes second nature. But when you start writing to songs, whether it's with a band or your productions,
exactly. Very different thing. I mean, I've got an MC set tomorrow actually, which is just me MCing.
So you're doing like garage
over
stuff?
Garage, So
wow, that's
140 BPM. So it's just literally going to be bars, any bars that I can remember. think of a few hooks and stuff, which is nice because I haven't done that in a minute. But that's just kind of, it's, you know, similar kind of thing. Just play a beat, just do some bars, and just vibe to the crowd, man. I do like it, but I haven't done so much because I've just been doing shows where I've prepped the show and whatever, so it's very different.
So what would you say some of your, because you've done some pretty tight support slots over the years, like with some major artists, like I remember one time I went down, like, you know, what it's funny is because you got one of your titles for one of your EPs is called Controverse. Yeah. And I went to see probably the most controversial rapper out there, just because I don't really like his, you know, because his lyrics against women might be a bit, you know, touch and go, but some of the production that he does is great, and just, you know, he comes up.
Oh, what, Necro?
Yeah.
That is old school as well.
It's
like first time. That's like when I did Jazz Caf back. That was way back as well, man. Yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah.
2013 or something, maybe, or 2014. Yeah, that was sick because I also was a fan of Necro. Kind of, do you know what I mean? It's like he does have the really sick beats. Yeah.
And he's original. What I like about him is that he's very original.
Yeah, he's very original. He's very New York. He's very Jewish. Very kind of like Italian-y or whatever it is that he's from. Yeah. But he's mafioso kind of.
Yeah, it's strong really, content.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him now, but I've kind of fallen off the radar of that stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, my most fun.
Yeah.
I think equally, I want to say, because I opened for Mos Def in Switzerland.
Oh, wow, man,
that was sick. Because I mean, Mos Def, Vinnie Paz in
another legend.
Like a couple years back in London, and Obi Trice again in London as well. So like, those are like some of my top artists that I used to listen to, and hence like they're the kind of nicer ones that I like to when I think back on it, that's actually sick because, you know, you get to meet them. But I mean, I've with some, like in Switzerland again, Jeru the Damaja, that was cool.
Another legend there.
Big Daddy Kane I met as well, I think it was.
Wow.
We are, because I was with a group in Switzerland called COTI. Yeah. So they get a lot of shows out there, and they open for like different acts from here. So if I missed when I'm over there and I'm doing some stuff over there, they'll bring me on because we did an EP together. Yeah. So yeah, Big Daddy Kane. I think I did Elder Sensei in London as well. So a lot of kind of like those old school kind of hip hop acts, and then more like, you know,
some
90s.
Would say true school.
Yeah, true school, but like in the 90s and 2000s, earliest 2000s as well. But yeah, my favorite, like Vinnie Paz, Mos Def, Obi Trice, man, that was sick. For me,
definitely. And before you started rhyming, what were your earliest influences? What was getting you popping like?
Influences when I was younger, or like when I under the Consensus name, because I never used to do hip hop before. Yeah,
well, basically, like before you started rhyming, whether it was in grime or in doing hip hop, what was like, say for example, energy. Like for me, like energy flow. A good example is always Busta.
He was probably one of my first ever influences, Busta. Like primary school. If I think back, like primary school, Eminem and Busta Rhymes were like rappers where I was like, whoa, cool, you're doing some fun stuff with words. And I remember being like 8 or 9 or something, and just appreciating that and just being like, okay, that's different. And trying to rap along with and rap along with whatever you hear. And I guess around that time as well, you know, you had like a bit later on So Solid Crew, actually. This is like way before grime.
They had a real impact.
So like in terms of musically, I like that sound. But in terms of what inspired me to write, it would have been about 5 years or 6 or 7 years after that, really, when I was like 14 and 15. And I was actually a mixture. I stopped watching TV and I just started turning on radio. And it would have been like anything I heard on Choice FM, which is now, what's it, Capital Extra or whatever it is now, and Kiss, Big Ted and Shorty Blitz, I think it was, their
Shorty
show,
Blitz,
and then Westwood show. So anything I heard on there, so some, and then any CDs I could get a hold of. So it was like my friend from school, his sister used to listen to Eminem. I don't know, his sister's boyfriend had like Eminem, Dre.
So you
Dre, 50 Cent, like then some Jay-Z. So like some American.
So you weren't one of the backpacker snobs then? You weren't like, nah, this is too commercial.
I never heard like any UK. Actually, no, that's not true. I never heard any like, you know, like High Focus or like Chester P's, like that kind of style until way later on. I had heard like Maestro, or My Stiggy. I had heard Joker Star actually around that time, which is mad because I've met him since. And I was like, bruv, your stuff's been on radio for like 15-20 years. That's great. Like, it's mad. So I heard some of those guys, but it was whatever got played on those shows. So like Kalashnikov again, like what's it, that their group and
M9
stuff like that.
Or
not so much M9, I guess, unless
maybe it's a bit later on.
Terra Firma, which was like Kalashnikov's group at the time, or whatever. I don't know. So, but I was less into UK hip hop, more into grime, because grime was actually kind of starting off around that time, like 2003, 4. Was when it started getting circulated around the mobile phones and stuff. So then it was like Lethal B, JME, Skepta, Wiley, Gets, who was Ghetto back then. That was the other side of music that I started listening to at exactly the same time. So I'd be switching between pirate radio and UK hip hop and stuff, and listening to whatever they were playing. And most of the time it was mixtapes from America, like really. Which I had like rappers like Cassidy and who else? I don't know, just some good old school rappers basically from back in the day, man.
Definitely. And so you've been involved in hip hop and in music in quite a broad range of ways. Like you've been involved with this science group CERN in Switzerland, and that's partly down to your academic background. Is that right? Yeah.
So kind of, I guess the opportunity was nothing to do with it. It was kind of just like a friend that was out in Switzerland. He was working with a school who was working with CERN, so that the teacher had a connection there. But he knew that I came from like a sciencey background, and he knew that at the time I'd like doing conceptual, like educational stuff. So I'd done this song called The Wind, which is actually about sustainable technology, but it's like underground hip hop. And he was like, it would be so cool if you did like something with CERN. So this is a guy called Dr. Cool from something called Worldwide Connects. And he was like, yeah, man, let me just put a word in with you for that. And then, like, long story short, because it's a very long story, but I ended up collaborating with the science experiment in Switzerland called CMS Detector, where they smashed the atoms together, and it's been on the news and stuff. And I basically made a concept album, which is rap, grime, or contemporary rap, so all types of rap from the last 20-30 years. And then all science-ish from the same era. And I kind of tried to match it together and make it relatable. So it was like, it's science, but it's also like it's like conceptually, like about people talking as if atoms were people, for example, or comparing yourself to the universe, or like talking about gang culture or beauty, but then also I'm talking about atoms or particles and stuff. So
it's really amazing the way you're able to draw these comparisons, and you keep it. It's got some bit of local language going on in the background there. But it's amazing your way you're able to string all that together, and it's always on a kind of mind elevation
It's deep. Like, I mean, I've given talks since I did it. I've given talks and stuff in some top unis like Cambridge, Oxford, John Hopkins in the USA and stuff like that. Even at CERN, I gave some workshops and talks, and it's very interesting because obviously for me, I just created it as a piece of art. Firstly, anyway, but there's so many layers, like in terms of when I'm doing some of the social commentary and like it's so interesting to know how much people don't really think about the impact of music and what goes into music, or rather good, or rap even in this case, like what goes into good rap, in terms of putting the lyrics together and trying to impact people. And so you've got scientists and people who are non-rap listeners understanding like, okay, there are conscious rappers who want to say something, not just rapping and swearing or whatever for the sake of it. And then you've also got I can actually learn some fundamentals about particle physics or something. I don't know, it's kind of just crazy, really.
It is crazy, man. But I mean, so you've gone from that, and now recently you've launched a double EP. Because you've got a backlog of a million tracks.
Exactly. So I mean, if you look on Spotify now, there's about 30 tracks maybe of mine,
right,
on a playlist. I finally put a playlist together. I've got about 30 instrumentals on YouTube, which had nothing to do with that as well. And then I've got 10 or 50 or 10 tracks, I'd say, of a mixtape that I never released. That bars, I've just used to write bars, and when we used to see each other in the ciphers and stuff, there's a whole mixtape worth of bars that's not released as well. So I have like a shit load of bars, and I was like, no, I need to put these out. And then I've also got unfinished songs, as you do, that are still there, like but they're just, this was like, no, collaborated with one guy, was Swiss producer called Bakuta. And then we did like a boom bap style thing, samples and stuff like that. That was nice. And then with SubContext, UK producer and rapper, we did a kind of electronic rap grime kind of project.
Okay. That's amazing, man. And give me the name of some your latest EPs that you've the one with the Swiss dude Bakuta is called Controverse, and the grimy kind of one is called SubContext. So sub coming from SubContext and con coming from me. I like how you got the kind of Sub-Zero.
Exactly. That actually came as soon as I thought of the project title. So way before I even finished the project, I was like, no, I want it to be like this. Like I was like, and so actually, that helped me craft a lot of the stuff. It was like, I know where I'm going emotionally and mood-wise of this, and I love, like, those are really good performance tracks, a lot of them. So.
Definitely, man. I mean, I saw what you were all about when you did your launch down at the Bread and Roses
man.
month back, and that event was sick, man. The talent that you put on, was it Greza? Greza and
Shumba and
Shumba Youth, who's
Razor as well.
Razor and Shumba Youth is always
in
popping off.
Chip Shop, man. He's got something. Actually, is his next one this week? Might be this week actually, at Chip Shop, or today. That means I don't know, but every second Thursday or something like that. Every 2 Thursdays he's got something at Chip Shop. Definitely check that out, man. It's very sick.
And so you just recently came back from Prague. You were in Prague 2 days.
Came back on Monday night. Went there to have a show. Shouts to EO Dub Prague. That's actually not who put me on the show. It was, but there's still family out there. It was the Freestyle Homies night, and that was really successful. Guy wants me to come back. I was like, maybe like 6 months. He's like, man, just 2 months. It's all good. So probably not 2 months, but
it's good to know though.
And then I actually laid down a track that same day before I did the show Went to studio A to Z Productions.
Yeah.
Laid down. That's actually a very deep track that I'm looking forward to putting out. So it was very fruitful. Then the next day, went to another studio. And then I got like a food poisoning thing, so I was out for Sunday, which sucked, but I was doing a lot anyway, man.
Yeah.
So I love it, man. Love Prague. I've been there like 4 times now, and I'm definitely gonna go back, man. Yeah. So it was really, that was really sick.
That's great, man.
Couple shows coming up in Switzerland in August.
Oh, nice, man. Which towns?
Geneva and another town which I don't know at the moment.
I know Geneva. I've been there a few times.
Yeah, man.
It's great,
so
great city. Yeah.
The French speaking ones. I'm gonna go to.
You're gonna drop any Francois down there?
Nah. But I mean, obviously, because I did the EP with Bakuta, so I'll try and tour it in his place as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be good, man.
Yeah, man.
And so that gets us into your international involvements, like, because there's this basically this, it's like an MC competition.
Yeah.
That's worldwide, called End of the Week.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're heavily involved in that.
Yeah.
And you even did. You went. Was it Somalia? You went over to or somewhere?
Ethiopia.
That's it. Yeah. And you were over there, not just doing your own shows and radio, but you were connecting with local artists.
Yeah, exactly. So everywhere I go, pretty much, I try to connect with local artists. The only place I didn't actually do that, I went on holiday to Colombia, and I was just like, I'm actually going on holiday now. But most other times I go abroad, I will try to connect with local artists.
Yeah.
And End of the Week is massive now.
Yeah.
It's ever expanding. Shout outs to Apex, DJ Snuff, Maslaw, the UK chapters. But yeah, it started about 15 years or more ago in America, in New York.
Right.
And it's like a multidisciplinary kind of MC competition challenge where you've got to rap to your own beat, you've got to rap a cappella, you've got to freestyle with items out of a bag, you've got to face a DJ so the DJ can play anything, and then you react to it, like 4 or 5 different tracks, different tempos, whatever. Wow. Or it could be a beatboxer, it could be a live band, anything basically. It's like a real MC challenge, and it's international, so the winner from each country goes to the world final, and depending on how many languages you've got, there might be 6-7 different languages being rapped in, so there's a judge from each language, and you're doing a massive world final in front of whatever country you're in, and there's a big vote, and then there's a world champion at the end of it. New York, America's had it the last couple of years, so big up Osiris Anthem. It's crazy talented rapper, freestyler and stuff like that. Yeah, he's sick, man. He's sick. And actually, I happened to be in New York when they just won. So they just come back from Paris last year, and I managed to connect with him because I'd never met him. Went to his birthday thing, went to his celebration party. All good people, man. So man, it's just nice. It's a good family where I've been to some countries or tried to organise my own stuff, and then I know there's an End of the Week chapter there. Do you know what I mean? So then I can also get a show through End of the Week or connect with people, and vice versa. When they come over, you just try to accommodate and make sure that they're looked after, or they know where to go for hip hop, or connect them to the scene. Do you know what I mean? So good underground hip hop family, man. Yeah, definitely, man.
That's that's incredible. And so you got lots coming up over the next few months, and you basically, this is now your thing, isn't it? Well, when you spoke to you last time, you're saying this is what it's all about for you now.
So this, I've got like a music platform, AV Revolution. And I'm working on like a couple things to help other artists. So
and AV Revolution is what does that involve? Is it for? I know you've got some bookings go through there.
Yeah. So I've got my website, which is like I get my own bookings and stuff through there, but we also blog other artists, so we blog their EPs. I'm going to try and start run some interviews again, written interviews. We also used to have, or we have promo, so I've got like 10,000 followers on Twitter on the main thing, and we tweet artists, music, and then we also have a platform for reselling music services. So people who buy and sell music services, there's a platform there for them now.
Okay.
And then I'm looking at like some marketing tools basically to help artists online.
Right.
Basically independent artists find their way pretty much, because I think it's definitely helping me, do you know what I mean? And it's a good way to try and make some little bit of side money. So so AV Revolution, that's the thing, avr-music.com.
And then you got Consensus for YouTube.
So Con Space Census is my YouTube. Me on Facebook as well, same name. Con_census is the Instagram. Consensus, all one word, on Spotify, iTunes, all streaming platforms. Or just I just say to people, type in Consensus Rapper on Google, and I'm there. Do you know what I mean? So,
Well, man, thanks for coming down. This has been a really, really fascinating interview for me, man.
Wicked.
And it's been great. Yeah, nice one. So you've been listening to Lost My Notes podcast with me, Butcher McBain, here from Ybot. You can check us out, ybotband.com. That links you to all of our platforms and everything. And Consensus, as he's just told you, through all his links, Consensus on Facebook and everything. And check out for him, man. He's really going far at fast pace right now. Every time I see him, is a new levels for this man. He's something else. So you got to go check him out. Yeah, last one, guys. Catch you on the next one.
Big up. Yeah, nice.